And it makes you feel cool no matter what. One thing, the Joel's verse is I love about that verse is he's talking to the girl. He's like, I'm 18, but I could treat a woman right. I can listen, take advice. And then a couple seconds later, he says, "Get in the car and don't touch nothing. Sit in the car." He said, "Let's discuss something." See you tomorrow. He just got.
I'm a gentleman.
Yeah.
Till he get him in the car.
He said, "Yo, you trying to fuck? No, get out the car. Get back out the car."
Yeah. I love that. I always
that
love
is hilarious,
that.
dog.
Just for that, you know what I'm saying?
Great. Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to Who Needs Therapy. I have rap with Hundos. Got my boy Danny here as always.
What up?
And Anthony.
What up?
What up, Ant?
What up, guys? I was about to jump right into the topic, but how y'all doing, man? I guess let me start there.
It's cold outside,
bro. This snow been kicking my. I've been just trying to stay moving, just cause when it's cold, during the winter, Michigan winters, my body just get all tense, bro, and I just don't want to do shit. I just want to just sit and chill.
Start hibernating.
Yeah, bro. So I've been just trying to stay moving for real.
Yeah, just been hitting that corner like whoa.
Oh man, you seen that? Speaking of, you seen his Hap or All-Star? He was at the All-Star
game. Man, he's been getting some push.
He has.
He got a label behind him. What label is that behind him?
He claimed Def Jam signed him.
Yeah, he's getting some push because he did the
Lions halftime.
The Lions halftime playoff game before the game, and halftime, and he did the All-Star game.
I mean, that was a shoe-in. We knew that was coming, but he needs some more. He's not good at performing.
That's what I'm saying. Is this not a blatant industry plant move?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's man. He's a plant for sure.
He's not good at performing, bro. You got one song. I feel like, and it's just me, me personally, I guess speaking. I feel like if I had one song that everybody knew, I'd be performing that song all the time, practicing it. I'd be able to hold my breath and know what words to say. But you can't still be on the backing track. You got one song. You can't be on the backing track. Still.
He's chilling. He's got the show. Oh, we got the show. All right, we're gonna chill in the suite. And I'm gonna go out there and do the show, and then we chilling back in the suite.
That's what it feels like. Yeah. That's what that All-Star game performance felt like for real. But today's episode, special episode, in my opinion, taking a stroll down memory lane, and we are discussing the first albums we ever bought. Now, all of us are around the same age, and when we were younger, buying albums, CDs was the medium of choice.
Right.
So we are going to go around and, just talk about the first album that we ever bought. But before we even get there, I do want to kind of set the stage, I guess, a little bit. Because everybody wasn't alive during the time of buying CDs.
I know. You really trying to age us with this.
Yeah, man. It is. I'm about to sound like a very old man, but it's all right, man. So back when we was buying CDs, everything wasn't as accessible. So album would drop on a Tuesday. You go to Sam Goody, Media Play, Circuit City, FYE, and you go see if they got the album. First of all, you see if it's available first, because they might not got it. Mm-hmm. Then you buy the album. If it's multiple albums that came out that day, you got to make a decision, because them albums costing $17.99 a pop. Right. And you ain't just got money.
Hey, don't forget they had the headphone joints on the wall. You can just walk over and listen to.
You get a 30-second sample of the song, and you better hope you like the sample of the song.
Yeah, no, real shit. I actually forgot about that. That's a really good point.
Yeah, that is. That's crazy.
But you had to take a risk with your $17.99. You know what I mean? So it might have been multiple albums came out, but you just gotta make your one decision. You know,
if you told a kid today that if they wanted to listen to the new Taylor Swift album or the new Beyonce album, that they had to pay $17.99. I don't think there would be a lot of people listening to music. And then for it to be $17.99, something like that, I remember you maybe went down to $14.99, and then you sell 1 million copies.
Yeah,
that's insane.
We're gonna get to that point, because that is a good point you raised. We gonna wait till we get to that. It's gonna come up real soon. But you have to take a risk with that $17.99. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if your risk paid off, you got good music, you got a dope album booklet with pictures to further illustrate the project that you listening to. You got the liner notes, the credits or whatever to know who on the features, who made the beat, the production, all of that. And then if you was lucky, you got a lyric book I don't know if y'all was printing out lyrics, but I was printing out lyrics on AZ lyrics or some shit like that.
Before I was printing out lyrics, I was pausing the song, writing them down, pausing the song, writing the line down.
Bro, lost art, dog.
Yeah,
lost art. So if you was lucky, you got the lyric booklet too. Now, if your decision was wrong and the album wasn't good, it didn't matter because you was gonna keep listening to it and try to convince yourself that it was good because you just spent $17.99.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's all you got to listen to, probably.
Exactly.
For the next
few weeks, month, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't just buying albums like that. I ain't come up with people that just bought albums like that. And the thing is that $17.99 gave you a right to an opinion. You feel me? Like, you can't just listen to stuff you don't want to listen to. I feel like right now it's a lot of people just like, for example, like the Drake and Party Next Door album. I know that album wasn't for me, so why would I go listen to that album and try to critique it? People only doing that because they ain't paying $17.99 to hear it. They can listen to it as soon as it come out and have an opinion on it, and that be that. But back when we was buying CDs, you had to spend your $17.99 or whatever the price for the CD. I'm just using that number. Whatever the price of the CD was, you had to spend that in order to have an opinion. So I feel like that's something that's like kind of messing up, like warping the way we consume music because
it's so easily accessible.
It's too easily accessible,
and
bro.
You can throw it away.
You can listen to it, bro. Something is deemed a classic or trash after a few hours it's been out.
I don't think people even call anything a classic anymore.
They do.
Like what? Like what?
You might not think it's just the classic. Everything could be a classic. Like, I see people, Playboy Cardi drop an album, it's a classic. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they say because everybody got an opinion. And I see everybody's opinion. We didn't see everybody's opinion growing up.
On the low, this is kind of the problem with the internet as a whole. Like, the accessibility and making it so that
it's flat.
All you need is access to, like, Wi-Fi and you can access everything. Yes. But also that social media makes it so that everybody's opinion is kind of weighted on the same level. Even though, like, you might not have listened to the album, you might not be invested in the album, you might not have even like talked to people about it, but I mean, you can kind of hop out and say anything just with like somebody else's opinion.
And that's what's happening, bro.
And you go on the internet and you can find an opinion or find somebody that supports your opinion, no matter what it is. It could be the worst take, and you're gonna find a bunch of people that think the exact same thing, and you get caught up in echo chambers and. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so it's a strange time to consume music.
Yeah, because that's kind of what I felt like about the Drake and Kendrick beef. So you hear a lot of like Kendrick fans just, I ain't gonna say hating on Drake, but they, you know, criticizing Drake, but y'all never liked Drake. Y'all was never gonna like Drake. So why are y'all like listening to basically what I'm trying to say is listen to what you like, have an opinion on stuff you like. We need to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Everybody just want to have an opinion. Just to have one and just have the most outlandish thing, and just for engagement. Mm-hmm. Like, it ain't even nothing genuine from it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like talking. I'm not about to listen to this album because I know it's not for me. I don't want to hear it.
I haven't heard the Drake Party Next Door album yet. I think it's like
probably not
songs on there or something too.
Would you listen to a Drake album with Party Next Door titled Some Sexy Songs for You?
Nah,
probably not. It's not for you. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just want to listen and just having to like, bro, like, I don't think I'm ever, I know I sound like a super old man right now, but I don't think I'm ever going to get to that point.
Get to the point.
I don't think I'm gonna ever get to that point, bro. Like, it's just the way we consume music is trash, bro. Like, you had to listen to an album. So that's why I definitely want to talk about this topic because like, listen to a CD,
albums, bro. Back when these albums came out and these define these artists for the next 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Man. Heck, sure.
And I feel what you're saying. I feel you.
Yeah, so we gonna
nostalgic Unc over here is
I know I sound super old right now, and that's okay. Yeah. But
taking them on a trip down memory lane, man.
We going down memory lane.
It's time to really age ourselves because we gonna talk about the albums, the first albums we bought. We kick it off with you first,
man. It's weird that I personally feel like Nelly don't get enough respect. Before you say anything, I'm specifically talking about 2000 to like 2005 Nelly. Like, in that same way, like we talked about like when you think about a classic, it's better to think about like runs where somebody was at their height, you know, where people hit at their peak. Right. And Country Grammar did that shit, bro, for pop rap. Like,
diamond,
I don't think that's an album that went diamond. One of maybe like 10 rap albums that went diamond in America. Mm-hmm. But being his first album, being the one that put on a lot of rappers from St. Louis, having like crazy singles, like Ride With Me is still one of the most popular songs ever recorded.
One of the biggest rap hits ever. Like no way.
I unironically play Ride With Me all the time. It's like a great summer song, you know what I'm saying? It's a good song. Like
it's still in movies and commercials to this day.
Still in movies and commercials, yeah.
Yeah. You don't mind hearing the edited version of it.
Nah,
it feel normal to hear cuss words cut out.
You put that on.
You can hear it in like you'll hear it at like a throwback party. Because again, this album from the year 2000? Like this is way back February. Almost
in the 90s.
25 years old to the day. February 29, 2000. Like,
bro, Country Grammar, the first single, bro. I'm going down, baby. Yo, street in a Range Rover, street sweeper. Like this is like a gangster song, but he's just singing it to a nursery rhyme. Like I don't think most people even knew, because they probably never even heard the unedited version. But even if they did, they probably wouldn't even know what's going on, because he just did that shit so perfectly, like flawlessly executed that shit.
Also, think about like around the same time Jay-Z doing Hard Knock Life. Like he's trying to get the same thing, trying to use like old songs with like a cutesy hook to really sell the song for like mass appeal.
He also tried to do that again with what song, and it did not work the same. Anything. Yeah. He tried to do that. Like, nope, it's not gonna work. I love Anything, actually, but it did not get the same reception as Hard Knock Life.
After a minute,
yeah, it was like, all right, Jay, we get your formula. It's not gonna work again, man.
It wasn't even that different.
It was the same song.
Sound like a part 2 for sure.
It's like, nah, bro, not
again. Might as well
did
the whole show at that point. Just do the whole Annie.
Yeah. No, Nelly was different though.
Bro, Nelly
was super different.
Was Batter Up on the album too?
Yeah, that was the 4th single.
The 4th? All right, so we got Country Grammar.
Country Grammar first. Yeah is second. Ride With Me is third.
Bro, and Batter Up 4th?
About that.
That is crazy. That's a crazy single run. Like, bro, he was on fire.
Nelly was. That's all you heard on the radio at that time, especially on the radio. This is the time of the radio too, and that's all you heard was Nelly.
My favorite track on there is probably Other Side. That shit is so cold to me, man. I think it's like the second track, I want to say.
I think the second track is like St. Louis. Yeah.
St. Louis. My bad. St. Louis. Where they gonna blaze St. Louis. That shit. That shit was. Other Side might be number 3. But them like a couple of my favorite tracks that people don't even really know that much about. You know what I mean?
And they weren't doing it. Those melodies, especially back then, is like singing at least. And Nelly was singing.
Yeah, right. He was.
And I can't think of any other rappers that was doing it like him.
Nelly had such a distinct delivery, man.
That's
like
Southern.
Nobody else from the St. Lunatics could do it the way he did. Murphy Lee caught it for a quick second.
Yeah.
But it was something about Nelly and like the same way you did on St. Louis, like that.
Yeah, bro. That
it felt like reggae. It felt like that shit was just like dripping with culture, bro. Like it made you feel like some niggas made this.
Yeah, I wanted to be a St. Lunatic. I wanted to be homie Slow Down with the mask. I wanted to be like that nigga, man.
With the opera mask.
Yeah, man. Phantom of the Opera ass nigga. Yes, man. That was cool as hell, bro. Yeah. So what did you think about the album at the time? How old were you then?
I would have been probably like 8th grade, probably like 12, 13.
What did you think about the album at the time when you heard it?
Oh, I was blown away.
Yeah.
I was blown away by, for one, just how almost every song was just like a banger, bro. I don't think I was familiar with albums that slapped like that yet. Like I hadn't really dug that deep. And like we wasn't buying CDs like that up until a certain age because, mama gotta be gotta be able to sign off on whatever you get. So it's a lot of stuff. Like, you know, if I really went with the first CD I ever got, it was probably like the Dr. Dolittle 2 soundtrack.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
was that Rugrats? Yeah,
that's Rugrats.
That's Rugrats. Like Nelly having like Country Grammar being so big at that time, and I think the main reason why I think the album blew up the way it did was because the videos were so cold. And not even just cold, but keep in mind, I'm a teenager digesting this. Them videos was horny as hell too, bro. Well, that's the problem.
I remember EI for sure. Like, EI for sure was some horny shit. Yeah.
There was an uncut version of Batter Up.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
He said he knows.
I know. I don't remember that. I remember Tip Drill and that type of stuff. I didn't remember. Oh, yeah, I didn't remember.
Knows.
I remember it was like an uncut version. It was an uncut version of
on BET Uncut.
Yeah, of Still Tipping. I remember it was like an uncut version of that.
Yeah,
I don't remember Battle Rap. That's crazy.
That's 06. That's a few years later though.
Yeah, I didn't know. That's crazy. Nelly Bell was on.
Where's Slim Thug getting topped in the
in the Escalade?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's crazy though. So have you listened to the album like anytime recently?
Not recently. I feel like I've listened to it at different points, like ever since then.
Yeah. So if it dropped today, how would
I think
it'd
still be hot.
It would?
I think it'd still be hot. Yeah, there was a feel. It was something about, I think, the time. It was just a perfect mesh for somebody to break out of the city where he was coming from. Even on the last song, he did the last song, Loving Me. Like, I wouldn't call it a good song. Like, he really trying to sing on it, but it feels like, you know, what kicks off a lot of other rappers getting into doing that. Mm-hmm. I feel like Ja Rule might not start moving in that direction as freely if you don't have people like cashing out and looking for who's that next rapper who's singing too.
Yeah. Right. Nah, you got a point there. No, that was an incredible album, bro. Fresh, especially for a debut. Like, every single one of your singles is just fish grease. Wow. Great.
And that's before you even get to the point where he making Hot in Here.
Yeah.
Like, it will he will get so much bigger.
That was his
followed
peak.
It up with Nellyville.
That was his peak when Hot in Here and Tail Feather,
Vocal, bro. He had his own clothing line. I ain't on no Vocal.
I never even heard of that one actually.
Really?
No,
I wanted it. Vocal tank top on at this point.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow,
but
seen his clothing.
Does Nelly have to buy Nike still to this day? I feel like
I don't
Nike...
think. I think he good on Air Forces at least. Maybe other Nikes got to buy, but Air Forces, no. He was telling people to buy 2 of them.
Right.
Well, I ain't gonna say he was telling. He was telling people he was buying 2 of them.
Yeah. he was.
You know how rap goes.
Man, wow. Yeah, that was a time.
And some of them same colors from that video they drop now, and they sell out just because I feel like
that
was a very special time for Air Forces for sure. No, that's a great album. I'm gonna go to you, Danny.
So my album, this one is I'm a fan of Nas, so this one as soon as I had some of my own money, I bought this album. Is Godson. So this one came out in 2002. This is the album after Stillmatic. So
so this like his comeback album.
Would you
consider Stillmatic?
That was Stillmatic.
Stillmatic, you consider his comeback?
Stillmatic was a comeback. He already ethered Jay-Z.
Right.
So now this is after. This kind of like his
Stillmatic came out 01 and then Godson came out the year after.
So it came out and then he had some issues with his mom. His mom got sick and his mom died and he came out with this album afterwards.
Gotcha.
Kind of had some stuff just explaining the beef. He had some hits on there. He had his singles I Can, which was got a lot of rotation back then.
Yeah.
Made You Look got a lot of rotation back then.
The remix to Made You Look. Let's stop for it.
Jadakiss on it
and Ludacris.
Bro. Yeah.
The way Nas ended that verse. And I like a little sassiness, a lot of class. Mommy reaching your bag past the 5th. Bro.
Yeah. He blacked out the whole album. I'd say his pen was not suffering at all at that time. I
wouldn't say the whole album.
No. His lyrics was on point the whole album. The beats now, on the other hand, I say Salam Remy. He's always good with him. Alchemist did all right.
The Alchemist.
So I know what you're saying. It's not the lyrics, it's the hooks. It's the being able to make a catchy song. I think Alchemist gave him some good beats, and listen to it now. All I could think was, damn, Bodie would slide on this. All the Alchemist beats on that album. That's all I was thinking today when I went back. I was like, Bodie would slide
on this. That's so hilarious.
Alchemist, gave him some good beats. Slime Remy gave him some good beats. Eminem gave him a good beat. Eminem. Man, that beat is so primitive. That beat is horrible. Man. So, and he did what he could with that. And even then, the shock value he was trying to bring on that song. He's I carried the cross, and Virgin Mary had an abortion.
Yeah, it was. He was trying to be Eminem on the song. What are you doing?
So that's a little dated, but it's a good album, But I don't think today it would have. It's not his best album, but for me, it was just. I love Nas at that time. You know what I mean? It was the lyrics. Get Down is still. I can. If they put a gun to my head and said your whole family's gonna die, you gotta do something.
Get Down.
I'm doing it front to back. We all getting out of there. But so that's and it's still a great song. The storytelling on that song is amazing, and it's a good album. But today, I think Country Grammar would be hotter still, and even back then, I think it was hotter at the time. But
for sure.
Did that come out the same year as Nellyville?
Yeah, it did. It did. Came out Nellyville came out a couple months before.
Yep.
Maybe no choice. Yeah, Nellyville came out maybe July. Because Nelly owned the second half of 2022.
And just to clarify too, this is not my favorite album, or this is just the first album that we went out and bought. Because the first album I received as a gift, was Get Rich or Die Trying, and this is before I bought this album. Then I had some birthday money or something, and I went and bought the Nas album.
So you felt like it was a good purchase at the time?
Definitely. I'm still satisfied with my purchase. It's still a good album, especially for me at the time. I felt like it opened my mind up a lot of what rap could be and what rap was,
Yeah, I actually bought Godson too as well. I don't remember it being good though.
No. See, I was a Nas fan, so I might be a little biased.
I ain't gonna lie. But I was a Jay-Z fan, and back then I used to pick sides.
There you definitely picking sides.
Back then. I was picking sides. I'm not picking. That shit corny now. But no, back then I was in middle school, bro. I was riding with Jay. I wasn't. But I
hated Ja Rule. I did not know. I hated Ja Rule. For some reason, when I was a kid.
Ja Rule?
Ja Rule when I was a kid. Really? Because 50 Cent.
Oh, yeah. You got it. Yeah. But Ja was hot at one point. He was really rapping his ass off at one point. Like Benny Bitty Vici, that shit.
Bro.
Back then, you know what I mean?
He was spit. There was that era that was DMX, Ja Rule, and Jay.
Yeah.
And Ja earned his spot being up there with him.
Bro, he did.
The one thing I'll also say about Godson though, bro, you coming off the back of Stillmatic. That's the thing. If you had got your first album a year earlier, you would have got Stillmatic and it'd be totally different.
Also, he dropped the Lost Tapes 2 months before Godson or something like that.
There was a lot of bootlegging going on at that time. So the Lost Tapes was a bunch of good songs that were gonna be on an album, but it got bootlegged, so he dropped it as a compilation, just like I might as well put it out anyway.
And that was fire.
And Godson got put out by him, got pushed up because of bootlegging. He wanted to avoid the bootleggers. So, there's a lot of Nas was one of those artists that was hit hard by bootlegging at that time because everybody was
his whole career, bro.
His whole career. But especially those years of those early 2000 years, he got hit hard by it. So he's something he was trying to avoid. That's one thing that people debate what those albums could have been if it wasn't for all the bootlegging. But that's I don't want to give excuses either, But I'm biased to Nas. I'll always be biased to Nas. So
that's fair.
At
least hey, calling it what it is. I respect that.
Nas today would make a better album than Godson.
Oh, 100%.
Today, Nas
he's been doing it.
Right, he's been doing
doing it for a few years.
Nothing against it's just this a moment in time, and that's just the album I bought at that time.
Yeah,
that's what came out. That. So
my album, the first album I ever bought. Shout out to my dog Flood, because we actually went half on this album. We just put our bread together and had to have it. But it was Come Home With Me by Cameron.
Wait, who took it home first?
So it stayed in my crib because he used to come through after school all the time. We played the game and shit. It's like both bars, but just custody in my crib. But it just made sense. He always came through after school and shit. So we used to listen to the album. But during that time, just to provide a little context, so this was Cameron after he got out of his deal with Epic, that was like a whole big ordeal, him trying to get out of the deal. Finally got out of the deal. Most of Come Home With Me was written, from what I understand, when he was on Epic, but then he signed with Rockefeller. And this is before Cam'ron dropped the Diplomats album, so this is before the Diplomats really got popping, and this is before Cam started wearing the all pink. So this is like the very beginning of his ascension. Like before Dame made him vice president behind Jay-Z back, like before all of this. This is the genesis.
What a weird time, man.
Bro. And the thing with Cam'ron, bro, you really had to be there, dog, to understand like how like big of a star he was. Cause I remember like Mitchell and Ness started making pink jerseys, bro. They weren't making it for breast cancer. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't for breast cancer awareness. It was because Cam'ron influenced everybody to wear pink that this whole company started just making pink jerseys. And also he got like, I ain't gonna say he got him in there, but Juelz was like in Nike commercials, bro. Like he was leading LeBron campaigns from what I remember. And you just really had to be there to understand like how massive like their run was. Cam'ron and the Diplomat. Yeah. And Cam'ron really, he's, you know, he the general.
That's
so
the beginning of it.
But Come Home With Me, I thought it was like a really great album. So you got Oh Boy, that's the lead single off of there. Man, that's one of the biggest, most massive rap singles ever too. And
I remember that being out before the album came out.
Yeah.
And I don't think I had ever been like that excited about an album just off of a single.
Nah, real shit, bro. Like that.
One of the biggest songs I've ever heard.
Yeah, 100%. You could not get away from that song. Whatever you had it on the radio, whatever channel you had it on, like you was hearing that song, dog. And the follow up to that was Hey Ma.
Hey Ma. Still a classic. That's one of those
banger.
too, like Ride With Me.
Yeah.
That might even be better because it's just such a good song.
That'll be mine.
And it makes you feel cool no matter what. One thing the Juelz verse is I love about that verse is he's talking to the girl, you know, he's like, you know, I'm 18, but I could treat a woman right. I can listen, take advice, you know. And then a couple seconds later he says, get in the car and don't touch nothing. Sit in the car. He said, let's discuss something. Either we fucking or see you tomorrow. I'm
a gentleman.
Yeah.
Till he get him in the car.
He said, yo, you trying to fuck? No, get out the car. Get back out the car.
Yeah. I love that. I always
that
love
is hilarious, dog.
Just for that, you know what I'm saying?
Really good album. So most of the production was Just Blaze and Top 5. You got some heat makers on there. Kanye got one track, Dead or Alive. Kanye produced Dead or Alive.
Okay. That's early. Yeah. It's early Kanye. This Kanye on the grind too.
Yeah. But bro, me going back listening to this album, bro, this album was expensive. All these samples, bro. You can just start. You can just do the singles. Let's start with Oh Boy. Oh Boy, that's a sample of I'm Going Down, right? By Rolls Royce.
Yep.
So we got that. We got Hey Ma, that's a sample of
Easy.
Lionel Richie. Yeah, Lionel Richie and the Commodores. Easy. And then you got Daydream, and that's a sample of
Aretha.
Mm-hmm. That's just the 3 singles. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even getting to the rest of the songs on there, bro. We got On Fire Tonight. Hey. That's a sample of Have You Seen Her?
Welcome to New York City.
You forgot about that.
Hold on, wait. How many songs are on the album first?
15, I believe.
Is it only 15?
15, yeah.
I felt like it was more than that.
16 at the most.
Yeah.
I just listened to it the other day too. Still holds up.
I just listened to it today. No, out of the three, that one you could drop today, and it's a good album.
You got to change the skits. You got to change the DJ case like RP. You got to change that intro. You got to trust me.
Keep it the
and
same.
You got to change the. You got to change the Stop Burning skit or whatever it's called.
No,
On Fire
keep
Tonight.
it on, man. Keep it on.
I don't think you're getting away with it in 2025, bro. Y'all take a listen. Yeah, y'all take a listen for yourself if y'all ain't never heard.
Yeah, he said, yeah, I love that song. The pretty girls with the pretty rides.
But you gotta get to the point where he talking. He said he'd kill a bitch, basically.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't say that, bro.
It was an ugly.
It's art.
It was bad.
Nah,
but I get it. He was burning.
Song, bro.
He was burning. I understand like the rage.
I just think it was funny.
Yeah, and it was.
Yeah. Right.
But now it's too real.
But also, I didn't have experiences with sexually transmitted diseases, so I like
exactly.
The joke is honestly not falling on the right person in the first place.
So, but bro, that album, like when I was listening, I was like, man, this really got to be an expensive album, first of all, because it's a ton of samples on here, and I just thought it just was a really good way to like start off his Rockefeller deal. Really, you know what I mean? Like he was the hottest nigga at The Rock. That's why he made him VP, bro. Like he took over. Like one more for Cam for taking over The Rock. Yeah.
And that's when Dipset, I mean, this is kind of off the subject, but Dipset, everybody had a very good run at Dipset.
Yeah.
Joel Santana, when he had his run, they were calling him the best rapper in the game.
He was. I thought he was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really thought he was.
And I don't know if those...
Joel's had that whole run with Wayne, too.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. And I never understood how Joel's could stand next to Wayne with his lyrics, and people really thought they were side to side as the best rapper.
They just complimented each other, bro. It was really good.
Joel's style-wise, Joel's did, but
really
Joel's did not have no bars that matched up with any of Lil Wayne's.
I don't think it got to be matched. It ain't got to be matched. It got to be compliment, bro. They compliment the hell out of each other, bro. That shit was really.
But like, okay, I don't want to get too far off subject,
but but also let me just get to a few features. We got "Welcome to New York City" with Jay-Z and Joel's on there too, right?
And that's such a legendary song, man. That feeling you get, and if you ever see them explain how that song got made, it gives you chills.
Yeah, bro, it's an amazing song. You got "Come Home with Me," the title track with Jimmy Jones. That's back when he wasn't even Jim Jones back then. That nigga was Jimmy Jones, and Joel's was on that. What other features did he have? He had Daz on "Leave Me Alone," but I mean, I guess you kind of gotta have him because he made the beat. Probably, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he made that.
He was doing that a lot. Daz was making the beat and getting on the song.
Well, he made the original beat because it's off. Okay. That's another sample. "Ambitious of a Rider."
You want to do it?
Right.
Yeah.
And he did a good job on that song too.
Bro, yeah, that's one of my favorite songs on there too. But what other feature? Am I missing some big ones on there?
I'm trying to look up the track list.
Features wise, it was.
And I only had a couple skips, honestly. Like I skipped "Tomorrow" and I skipped "Boy Boy." I think them the only two songs I skipped. I don't think I skipped.
There's a lot of Joel's on there. Jim Jones is on more than a couple songs.
Jim Jones on like two of them.
Yeah.
He on "Come Home with Me," and he went crazy on "Come Home with Me." Like
Jim Jones, probably one of the best.
He was
people that rappers that turned rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
That became a rapper through other rappers, convinced him to become a rapper. I think he's one of the best to do that. Yeah, because there's a couple people that are like that, like even little babies like that. Yeah. He wasn't a rapper; they convinced him to be a rapper.
Well, yeah, you should rap, bro. You're good at this.
Yeah, and now he's you live.
Vince Staples
like you look like a rapper.
Yeah, Vince Staples
Vince Staples wasn't a rapper.
He just was rapping because he was around
and then musicians. And then he was like, I can do this.
Like, yeah, I can do it.
Yeah,
but I do think if he dropped it today, it still would be. Like I say, you might gotta just make a few tweaks here and there, but still a great album. And I think it's Cameron's best album. That's my opinion. It's his best album he dropped, bro. I think it's better than Purple Haze.
It's probably his most concise album too.
Yeah,
because 15 tracks is reasonable for Cameron.
Yeah, no, he got said what he needed to say. Got in, got out, man. And it just that's a great body of work, bro. And it's just crazy, like just seeing where he is now. I mean, he reinvented it, so he's still rapping or whatever, but he what would you call his title? I don't want to say a podcaster, a
host of a podcast,
but he be doing interviews and stuff. A talking head. There you go.
Right.
And that's incredible, bro. We talking this 23 years ago almost. But also, speaking of, bring it full circle, you know who was having an even greater year in 2022? 2002. I'm sorry, in 2002. Okay.
Who?
Nelly.
It's always Nelly.
Bro, he dropped Nellyville and he owned from like July of 2002 until the end of the year, damn near. He did Hiding Her and he did Dilemma. Bro, that's all you heard.
Shit.
That's all you heard.
Yeah.
You didn't hear nothing else.
I mean, you still hear him.
Yeah, you still hear them. Yeah, for sure.
Consistently, probably.
Yeah, bro. He gonna eat on that shit like for the rest of his life.
And then he can even come out with him in the Garth Brooks song when he wants to.
Right.
Clean up with that.
Man.
You know?
Hey, fuck that song, bro.
That shit's like terrible, bro. I didn't like it then, bro.
It must have been psychologically implanted in my head so many times that it's good because I can't see that song being bad. It's just so.
It's not a good song.
You can sing along to it so easily.
It can be catchy. Like songs can be catchy, but they don't mean they good.
Yeah, it's very catchy.
This is the same era when like Kid Rock and Uncle Kracker was cooking. Bro.
Oh my goodness! No, let's not talk about Kid Rock. This dude, Kid Rock, is crazy.
He a joke, bro. I just seen like
he had the little dude. The little.
Oh yeah,
dude
was it Vern Troyer?
No, that's a different dude.
My bad. Hey, I just want to say I don't think all little people look alike. Hey,
let me. They're both bald.
Oh, okay.
You gotta edit
R.I.P. R.I.P. Vern, R.I.P. Vern, and the other dude passed away too.
Very different time. We all sound like some unks here, but I do long for that time, bro, where everybody ain't got an opinion on everything, bro. I think it's an interesting conversation, though, how like you ain't gotta have $17.99 to have an opinion no more, bro.
Yeah.
You know, everybody got one, and they can listen to whatever they want to listen to, even if they don't. People are hate listening to things, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like you got too much time in your day.
Yeah.
Because I feel like your time could be spent doing something better,
right?
In my opinion, but
it kind of makes it a little more of a communal thing because everybody can listen to anything, and so back then you listened to something and you kind of got into the fandom of it, and so it was yours, and you got to put somebody on something. That was more of a thing. Nowadays, everybody's it's right there. It is just
too
right
accessible,
there for you.
Bro. Too accessible, man.
It is a little too accessible.
Because I ain't even got to leave the comfort of I can stay in bed, bro. Listen to this at midnight, bro.
I remember in 2007 when Kanye and 50 Cent were going head to head. I pre-ordered. Like I said, Get Rich or Die Trying was the first CD I ever received. I love 50 Cent. I pre-ordered Graduation.
I thought he was about to say Curtis too.
I was team.
Oh,
okay.
I pre-ordered Graduation. I took the bus to go to FYE in the gallery in Houston to get the album early. Because they were competing who was gonna sell more albums, and Kanye won. It was just an amazing time. But to feel a part of that, to pre-order the CD, to go out the day of the release and get on the bus and go buy the CD, and like you said, flip through the book. The
bro, that was a reward. That was a treat.
It was a reward.
Y'all hear this man's dedication?
Yeah, it was dedication
to getting the album. We ain't even got it. Y'all ain't even probably buying albums no
just
more.
Just to put it in a CD player on the bus.
You just streaming it. They get like 4 cents. They get 4 cents from your stream. He bought the album. And took a bus to do it.
And then you had to walk really still, so that way your CD didn't skip.
Your Walkman ain't skip. That anti-skip wasn't worth nothing.
The anti-skip didn't work.
It wasn't worth nothing.
Yeah.
Like that was a whole We need to get into that next, man. What was the whole anti-skip? That was a marketing ploy, dog. Right. That's like saying something organic, even though it's not. It's marketing.
It's not gonna skip. Wipes that are flushable.
There you go. That's a perfect analogy right there. All right, y'all. That's gonna wrap it up for us on Who Needs Therapy. I Have Rap. Please jump in the comments. Let us know what your first album was that you purchased. Let us know your thoughts on our first album. Like, we can talk about this all day, for real, man. Please like, subscribe.
Man, I want to know whose first album they bought. Like, 'cause some people might not even have an album they bought at all. You know what I'm saying?
Right, bro. Yeah. He was born in like 2003, 2005 or something like that. You probably didn't.
You might not have never bought
first album you downloaded. It's the same thing.
Anything. First album you came across.